Okay, it's been a while since I've been sitting in this spot with a tripod, and I'm glad I have it. So, let's retouch on an old subject of my least favorite and my favorite. Now, you all know my least favorite DC hero is Superman for his broken overpoweredness and a little pebble that's apparently green and radioactive from his planet is the only thing that can kill him aside from magic. But let's move over to Marvel. Now, Marvel is a touchy subject. I grew up with Marvel, and like what? I grew up with Marvel. Marvel is my first type of comic franchise that I actually really liked and adored, and I stuck with it. Now, the entire thing with comics and me, I can't see any Marvel heroes now as bad. But let's talk about the ones that I at least say they're bad because we didn't get to touch on them that much because they either A, died off really quickly, or, well, B, there was no rhyme or reason I understood. My least favorite hero, in the sense. Now, hero in this term is going to have to be very loose because in Marvel there are a lot of twists and turns, alternate timelines, and brand spanking new ones. But one hero I would love to touch on more, who right now is still my least favorite because there's nothing about him. He's either dead or non-existent here. And he also ties into no, that'd be a killer spoiler, but whatever. The obvious thing is, I would like to touch on this guy as a hero more, but he's been too much of a villain. And that is the Green Goblin from Spider-Man 3, or whatever comic he showed up in then. I don't know what happened to him. Sure, he got impaled and died then, but I want to know why he's not a hero now, why he's not in the comic series now. Sure, in the cartoon on Disney XD, he was known as another guy like Kid America or something with a jetpack. I don't know why they didn't stick with the Junior Goblin as a good guy, but I would love to see more of that. Sure, it's not that much to want or need, but it just seems like a kid with the best gadgets got impaled, died, and hey, guess what? You get to see him as a hero for a good 10 minutes. Or not even that, probably 5. The movies back then were good, and they wanted me to believe that he was going to come back in some way, or a hero like that would come back in some way, and be good at it. But he was a kid on a glider with a multi-million... God, my tongue. Just please. He was a kid who was avenging his father from Spider-Man. Yeah, sure. And the thing I did not get is why did he have to die off so early into him being a hero, saving someone? Sure, the only character to my knowledge was Mary Jane, but since there aren't any comics on the young Green Goblin who turned hero, I don't know anything about him. I would love to know more about him so he could get off the bottom tier list for my Marvel hero, but he was only a hero for all of 5 minutes. And he wasn't considered a hero then. He was just... in death, he was a hero. Saving someone's life, stopping someone else from dying. It's all a very confused mess up here. I would love to see him as a hero kick butt along with his best friend, who is Spider-Man, who coincidentally or ironically killed his dad, and yet you're still friends with him. Sure, you almost killed him twice in the movie, but it's very stressful knowing that you'll never be a hero as Green Goblin. Sure, you'll be that Rocket Kid from Disney XD that I completely forgot about, but you'll never be Green Goblin. You can be Anti-Venom too, but it just won't feel the same. Anti-Venom is more or less an anti-hero for a lot of the symbiotes, since some of them lived out to be heroes or kept being villains like a lot of others. Which, I have to say, that's also a disappointment. The only symbiote hero now, to my knowledge, is Anti-Venom, and nope, that one's dead. It's And the dog. The symbiote dog. I don't even know what you call that thing. That from Deadpool, from one of the Deadpool issues where he got the symbiote and just left it to the dog. That's freaking sweet, for one. And two, why can't we spread more on the tiny little obscure superheroes that were never mentioned about again? Why can't we touch more on that? It's irritating knowing that there's a hero out there like that, and something that I was probably love, adore even, but it's not gonna happen. For whatever reason, it should happen. I want more stuff like that to happen, where new characters are introduced and like a week later, something new comes out based on them. Not the hero that made them who they are today, but I honestly, in this new Disney XD series, if I don't get that in this new Spider-Man series that's coming out on Disney XD like August 19th, which that's close enough, I will be in a riot. Sure, I'll still love that Spider-Man because it's Spider-Man, which, yes, he is my favorite Marvel superhero, for reasons I will cover in the next video on the subject. So, I guess that's my touch on my least favorite Marvel hero, because he died too early. And I don't want him to be there. I would love for him to grow as the Green Goblin, as a hero. Sure, I'm pretty sure a lot of writers haven't thought of him as a hero like that, but I have. He saved someone and died trying to save more people. That's what I see as a hero. But here's another reason for Superman not being my favorite. He died twice now, saving people. And I grew up with him being an overpowered demigod, which is very lackluster to nowadays, where in the comic books, alternate dimension, Clark Kent, Superman, fights his son because a psychic has his mind. That is irritatingly stupid, funny, and I would love to read more of that. Sure, I do still like Superman, but he's still one of the worst to me in my book. Sure, he's a demigod, but that's not saying anything to my last opinion. I still don't like him, or how he's written to be a superpowered demigod. And I know there's a Marvel version of him too. That's why that guy's not on the list, because, well, he can do so much more, yet he still has the same weaknesses. That's basically writing him off. But there is a coloration in the sun that Marvel has used against him before. But yeah, the Green Goblin Jr., I don't know what you call that. Green Goblin hero? It doesn't roll off the tongue as easy. But he was a hero for like a good few minutes. Then he got impaled, died. Sorry for the sick spoiler, but if you guys have not been growing up with Spider-Man in Tobey Maguire's movies, God, my tongue, I'm sorry for the spoiler, but it had to come out. This subject was carrying on way too long, and I'll just see you guys next time for why I like Spider-Man. Later.